Welcome to the Wheel Route Fantasy Football Show. I'm your host, Kev Wheeler. Uh, when you get a chance, please hit that like and subscribe so you can see more of these. I promise it's going to get better. This is only my second show, and visit wheelrouteff.com for more of my rankings and other tidbits that I'll share with you. Today, what we're going to do is draft some underdog best ball teams. I do this all the time, and I figured time to live stream them. Or actually, this is a recording. I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Too many other people are live streaming right now, so I didn't want to try to compete with them, seeing that I'm just starting out. But pass the word around, get it on social media, come to me, and turn on those notifications so you can see me coming next time. Some news we have Mike Williams retiring from the NFL. Not a big deal. I did draft him a couple times early on, try to stack with Justin Herbert, but oh well. What's lost is lost. Anthony Richardson is believed to have recovered from his shoulder setback as the team prepares to report for training camp next week. He's been in Florida working with some of his personal coaches. A lot of people have Daniel Jones as starting quarterback for the Colts. I think that's up in the air still. And I can see Anthony Richardson starting at least a handful of games at some point this season. Because I don't think Daniel Jones is going to give them a winning record or any kind of chance. So they're going to want to see what they have in Richardson. So as a last round pick, not a bad idea. Jordan Addison pleaded to a lesser charge in his DUI case. He has a fine and probation. None of that is totally clear yet. And since it wasn't a DUI, I don't know if this suspension might be less for Addison. I think everybody's assuming about a 3-game suspension, but we'll see. I'm sure news will come on that relatively soon. But first, we're going to hear news on Rashee Rice. He was sentenced to 5 years of probation, which I think is even bigger than his 30 days of jail time. His 30 days of jail time, apparently he can serve it at any point in time. So what we really care about is not when he serves the jail time, but more of how long he gets suspended. A lot of people are speculating 3 to 7 games. We'll see. I think it's more in the 3 range. But it's likely to come at the beginning of the season. So in drafts like Underdog, we don't care as much about the beginning of the season, but we're going to let the dip happen as well. So my recommendation is that we don't draft Rashee Rice unless he drops to the 5th or 6th round. We'll see. We're going to start out with a puppy draft, so we'll see how much he drops. It always takes longer for players to drop than it does for them to rise. Just because in just about every draft you have auto drafters or people that get disconnected and accidentally auto draft the player, and a lot of times it'll just be the ADP next in queue. And then there's people that haven't heard the news. Then again, people drafting now are really in tune to any kind of news coming forward. So we'll see. We'll give it a judge. The other news, this is a little bit older, but Najee Harris was on the non-football injury list. I'm sure he'll be back for the regular season, and it's not like Najee really needs time in camp. I still expect him. Amarian Hampton is going to benefit from this just because he's going to get more time to run with the ones in camp. But the season's still several weeks away. So I don't know. I see Najee still getting half the carries when we start the season. Jets signed Garrett Wilson to a new contract. That's good for him. The other big news adjusting ADP is Quinshon Judkins. He's dropped like a rock. I think earlier today. I saw him go in the ninth round. So we need to keep an eye on that. And I'm kind of buying the dip. Um, it was a battery and domestic violence charge. I believe in Florida, the battery is a misdemeanor. I could be wrong about that though. But we'll see. It's going to be a long time before that goes to court. So whether the NFL decides to put him on the commissioner's exempt list, I kind of doubt. And I expect that news to fizzle by the time the season rolls around. So I might be buying the dip on that one. All right. So done with the news for now. I am going to jump in a puppy draft. I am not a high roller, and drafting solo on stream isn't something I've done before. So I'm not going to join a $20 or $25 draft right off the bat. We're going to do one of the puppy twos today. We might do the German Shepherd, but Superflex. And last night I did a Rookies and Sophomores, and it seemed like fun. It seemed pretty quick. So let's try that. I actually haven't even tried presenting another screen as I go. So, but we shall see. Let me see. Present. Share screen. Da, da, da. Actually, I don't really want to share that one. When the board pops up, we'll see if I can present the board. Okay, so I have my rankings in there, and actually, my rankings, these rankings anyway, are not my original rankings. I took leg up rankings, legendary upside rankings, and I adjusted. I moved Brian Thomas and Devin A Chain up a little bit. I'm much higher on A Chain. Well, not much higher, but fairly higher on A Chain than most. Let's try to switch here. Pull that out and see if I can share this tab instead. I want this tab. There we go. Let's get that over there. And then that. How's that looking? I don't know if I can make that any bigger. Probably what people are going to ask. Do one more. Yeah. All right. All right. How do you like that? Now I'm going to show you guys the board the whole time so that, and I don't understand. Ooh, can I? That one goes to. All right. We're going to keep it bigger so you can see it better. And I'll see less on my screen, but that's okay. Um, oh, we've started. Oh, and I got the third pick. I'm going to take Bijan. It's a little awkward because I'm making the screen so big for you. I can't see all of my screen. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, cool. I don't understand why some people don't just leave the draft board up the whole time. I think that's more convenient for you guys, right? Not that you can. Oh, comment. I know this is not live, but I need your comments in there. It's gonna feed the algorithm. We need to feed the algorithm. So Bijan is my number one ranked running back, and I think ADP has caught up to that ranking as well. But he's He was what, the RB9 2 years ago. I always get a little phlegm in my throat when I talk too much. I'm a teacher. I should be trained at this by now. Uh, Excuse me if that cough hit the mic. So, we see a slew of running backs go next. We must be getting normies in here. Yeah, there's only, well, there's five badges, three red, one black, or four red, one black. Math. Math is hard. But we saw CD Lamb go at four, Barkley go at five, Gibbs went at six, McCaffrey going at seven. He has jumped Puka in ADP. But Derrick Henry at eight. I was to a badge too, so somebody's either trying something or they're really high on Derrick Henry. Ashton Genty went nine, Puka 10, Neighbors 11, Nico Collins at 12, Amon Ra at 13, Devon Achane at 14, or Achan at 14. I actually have Achan higher than most. And it's coming up to me because it's recording. I can tell you I have Jonathan Taylor and Tyreek in the queue. Taylor goes, a Tyreek freak. I believe he's going to come back to 2023 form. I think 2024 was a bit of an anomaly. Let me check ADP against these rankings. Yeah, Rashid Rice is way up there in ADP. All right. Leg Up has Garrett Wilson ranked rather high compared to ADP. So I started Bijan and Tyreek Hill. Next to that go are Chase Brown and Josh Jacobs. I have, it's a little early in the third to be grabbing Brees Hall. Let me check ADP. ADP would be Marvin Harrison or Garrett Wilson. I'll go with Garrett Wilson. I think he's very stackable later. Leg Up has him boosted. Maybe the contract has given everybody confidence. I think the contract is more that Garrett Wilson probably wanted a new contract because he knows the passing volume is likely to take a hit this year. I think they'll call more passing plays, but Fields is going to run the ball a little bit more, a ton more than Rodgers did. Fields will probably run the ball 100 times this year, maybe more. Yeah, I don't want to give him 10 carries a game. Actually, I should check projections. I have them here somewhere. Let me see. Now, my projections are actually a combination of, whose are they? I usually look at Mike Clay because they're easiest to access and get for free. But the Athletic, Jake Seeley, actually put out a nice template this year that has the rankings, and they're easily adjustable. So I've made some adjustments. I hope this is the right file. I mean, you're not going to see it, but I just want to see how many carries. I don't think I messed with the Jets. I want to see how many carries he has them projected for. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to do. I want to put music on in the background. Background music. Set the volume a little lower than I had it last time. I can't hear it. It should be low. But I'm going to do this. Ooh, it's coming back around to me. I haven't been following the draft because I want to look at these things. Jets, Fields, rushing attempts. Yeah, he has them for about 110 rushing attempts, so I'm not that far off. All right, let's take a look at what I have to do next. Do I want DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Hurts? I think I will go with Hurts. I had slow fingers. All right. I got to get used to that. I wanted to go Jalen Hurts and then come back with Devontae Smith. Yeah, that's what he's going to do with the turn. All right, that's fine. All right. So do I want Travis Hunter, Zay Flowers, Jaden Waddle, Calvin Ridley? What does ADP say? ADP has Jameson. Actually, probably don't have enough Jameson. Let me get him. All right, so I started out with Bijan, picked up Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, and now Jameson Williams. I was just listening to Evan Silva on Ship Chasers before I did this, and he's high on Jameson Williams, so I have that in my head. And actually, I could have gone with Kenneth Walker. I've developed some severe best ball brain and zero RB brain or hero RB brain. I need to, and kind of have been a little bit lately. I've been mixing in more running backs in those top 6 picks. After listening to Hayden Winks on a couple of different shows talk about how it's actually more optimal build for advancing and doing well in the finals, both over the past 5 years in Best Ball Mania anyway, to come out of the first 6 rounds with 3 wide receivers, meaning either 2 running backs or 1 running back, and get your quarterback or a tight end. Oh, right before me went Joe Burrow. He wanted to stack him with T. Higgins, but I think Joe Burrow anywhere before the end of the 6th round is far too early. He's being drafted way above where he should be at this point. I'm sure I'll get tons of people that disagree with me on that. And yes, his last 8 games of last season was phenomenal. And he has Higgins back in full capacity. He's got his contract. He's not playing injured anymore. So maybe I'm low on Burrow, but I just think, I don't think he separates from the crowd of people beyond the top 4. I think he's closer to the Mahomes, Kyler, Mayfield, Fields range than most people do. All right. So I'm going to go running back here, even though Jerry Jeudy is the next one in my queue. I like DeAndre Swift. Chicago hasn't done anything about their running back situation. And it looks right now like Swift's going to get most of the touches. My queue is going to be filled with wide receivers again. David Montgomery and Isaiah Pacheco go. The next running back is Pollard, but he's pretty far back. Jerry Jeudy or Jacoby Myers? I don't want to go with Laporte yet. I don't feel very good. Although, 7th round, looking at the draft board, Laporta doesn't seem like a bad pick. I'll go Jacoby Myers. I like leaving the Las Vegas stack late open. Actually, I could have gone. All right, no, I'm fine. I need to reduce the screen just a little bit. Yeah, I need to see a few more players. I'll look later and make sure that that's all right. A few more players are visible for me in the queue, which is good. I like to set my queue well in advance, especially when I'm on the ends. I'll just put the next 10 in ADP in my queue just to have them there. Probably the next, Hawkinson's there, Ayuk's there. All right, so let me go along with the draft. I don't know where I left off, really. The audio listeners may not appreciate me talking about my queue, but I'll just go over my team. So I started with Bijan Robinson, got Tyreek in the second, which I'm ecstatic about. I'll have a ton of Tyreek by the end of this year. Got Garrett Wilson in the third, kind of a wishy-washy on that. DJ Moore in the fourth was kind of an accident. I wanted to go with Jalen Hurts to see if I could catch Devonta Smith on the bounce back. But DJ Moore's fine. Going in the late fourth, he's actually a value. Then I got Jamison Williams in the fifth because I've just heard Evan Silva talking about him. DeAndre Swift in the sixth. DeAndre Swift in the sixth isn't something I would want to do in Best Ball Mania, but in one of these time box tournaments that just started a couple of weeks ago, that's been his ADP the whole time. Earlier in the offseason, you could get him in the 10th or the 11th, which was pretty glorious in itself. We're coming up in the end of the eighth here. We've seen somebody stack Kelsey and Mahomes, and they had Worthy earlier. Ooh, nice KC stack on this. It's a teammate. Jordan Mason goes. I think I am going. My choices here are really Josh Downs, Quinshon Judkins. That just goes. I have TJ Hawkinson here. I like Hawkinson. I prefer Hawkinson on a PPR, but I do expect JJ McCarthy to kind of focus on his tight end. So I'm just setting my queue because I get the quick bounce back, and I'm hoping I can stack my Garrett Wilson pick here with Justin Fields. I want as much Justin Fields as I can possibly get. Justin Fields, to me, is the most likely to be in the top 5 QBs of the quarterbacks that aren't being drafted in the top 5. I like Justin Fields. I don't think I have him ranked ahead of Joe Burrow, but it's close. And I probably have him ranked a little lower just because his ADP is much lower. Dak Prescott is climbing in ADP. You used to be able to get him in the 11th round, which was a steal. Dak is probably going right about where he should be now. The only players that I think Joe Burrow should be in this round, as I said, the end of round 6, beginning of round 7. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I like that. I like Patrick Mahomes much, much better with Rashee Rice, and he'll have him for most of the season, I believe, or at least the end of the season, it looks like. Baker, I like a lot. New coach, but he's done it with 2 new coaches in the past 2 years, and he has a full arsenal at his helm. Really, Bo Nix, I'm expecting a sophomore slump. I didn't expect his first-year breakout either, though, so I could be wrong about that. Kyler, I expected to break out last year, was a disappointment. But at the end of the season, I got some stats on him that I should be bringing up. I hope that didn't mess with your view. Sorry, I'm just getting to the Kyler stat. So his rushing attempts have declined every year, but his pass rate went from 50% to 61% the last 8 weeks of the season last year. So Kyler could break out the way I thought he would last year. All right, so looking at my queue. Ooh. I really don't want. Sorry, I went with Luther Burden. I think he's a steal at this pick. That's my 6th wide receiver. So any wide receiver, I'm only going to get 7 total. So any wide receiver I get from here is going to have to be a stack. And Caleb is off the board, but I think Luther Burden in the 10th or the 11th is an absolute steal. And I wanted Scatterboo that just went before. What other stacks should I be looking at? Oh, I got 2 Chicago receivers. That's not right. I can stack Tua. Goff is gone. Could stack Hawkinson, but there's no real Minnesota receivers to stack late. I could go with a tight end. I would have liked. I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy and stack with Hawkinson. There is one receiver I can get super late that I could stack with him too. And I'm not going to stack any other receivers with Fields, so maybe with J.J. I cough right into the camera too. That was basically taking a break. Drafting on stream is also much better with a 30-second clock, but there isn't that option in the Puppy 2. It's just 20 seconds or 8 hours. So when I seem a little bit stressed or crunched for time on the clock, just understand that I'm dealing with 10 less seconds and trying to talk my way through it out loud. The 2 Chicago quarterbacks was not what I wanted. Or 2 Chicago wide receivers is not what I want to do without Caleb. But I'm a believer in Luther. Not that I don't believe in DJ Moore, but I think it's a little late for a trade. I kind of expected that maybe DJ Moore would get traded for a running back at some point, which could happen. Oh, I want to draft a little bit more. Oh, Kamara's moving up there. I was listening to some podcast the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody threw out there that Alvin Kamara could be traded to Chicago, which kind of sparked my interest a great deal in him. Ooh, we got a quarterback run. I have Tua and Geno I can stack. There's always the options of Bryce Young or Cam Ward stacked late, which are nice. And yeah, I'm filling my queue. I gotta move the quarterbacks way down. I'm trying to fill my queue here with some guys. Probably gonna go running back here. And then I have to make a decision. I think I'm probably gonna end up going with 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends, but we shall see. I do like Dallas Goedert right around this range, but I've fallen a little bit behind at running back. So I'm going to, and I don't have much Garendo. And you know what? No, I'm going to go with Trey Benson. I think, I probably shouldn't think that James Conner has a better chance of losing touches than Christian McCaffrey, but I might be able to get Garendo on the bounce back. And actually, I'm going to go back-to-back running backs here, I think. If one of my guys falls to me. There's another wide receiver I like here too, but I'm not ready to. Ooh. Man, I should probably get one of those quarterbacks. If Jaden Blue goes, I'm going to go with a quarterback, either Tua or I can wait on. I don't know if Gino's going to make it back either. I shouldn't really play with fire. I'm going to, though. All right. Just want to make sure some bye week 5. Ooh, 2 week. I have 2 week 5 buys. Oh, at running back. My top 2 running backs both have a week 5 bye. And actually, now that I look at my receivers, I got the 2 on Chicago, and then I got Jacoby Myers and Jameson Williams have the same bye. I probably should have gone with either Tua or Geno Smith because I really don't think they're actually going to make it back. But I felt like I was behind at running back. I like Benson, and recently I've started to come on to Jaden Blue. There's really, early in the scouting process, I guess you could say, Blue's small, and he apparently wasn't great in college. I don't watch a lot of college ball, some highlights here and there, but nothing intricate. So my ball and lower takes are weak when it comes to college. But the reports were that he was too small for the NFL, kind of like Tariq Cohen size. But if you really think about it, Tariq Cohen had a couple seasons too. And then on top of that, apparently Jaden Blue is a little bit bigger, and his competition for touches in that backfield is rather minimal. You got old ass Miles Sanders and hasn't done anything in the NFL, Javonte Williams. I've been high on Javonte forever, and don't get me wrong, I would have drafted Javonte in the 12th had he made it there. Actually, I wanted to. But I would have. Javonte in the 12th seems like a steal. And actually, I could see Javonte in the 11th. I wouldn't have a real problem with. I probably would have grabbed him had I had seen him to a very short. All right, come on. Gino. All right. I'm still going to go quarterback if Cam Ward goes. I can't go quarterback. I'm not going Darnold. I'll probably end up with Richardson. I'm going to go Dylan Sampson. I usually go Roshan right about there. Um, Dylan Sampson has kind of shot up my rankings as well because uh, oh, let me think. Sorry. Let me just think about this pick actually. Quarterback, I could end up with Richardson or the New Orleans or Shuck. I think I'm good. I should be relatively good at running back. I want to save the one more wide receiver bullet. I'm going to grab Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki could be the new Tyler Boyd. And imagine Tyler Boyd at tight end. So, so let me think. I could have gone Mason Taylor to stack with Fields. Wouldn't be horrible. But I just think Gesicki's actually, he signed a new contract. He's apparently, or Burrow wanted him. Made sure the team re-signed Gesicki. So Gesicki in the 15th seems like a bargain to me. I got 3 more picks, so I am going to go with another quarterback because I know Fields isn't going to be consistent. McCarthy's basically a rookie. Probably going to go with another tight end, and I have one more wide receiver to draft. So let's knock out the running back piece. Let's see. Let me just look. Actually, can go. I had that Jalen Naylor in mind for my wide receiver to stack with McCarthy. I could also, well, Alex Pierce just went. Do I want to go? Basically, it's which quarterback am I going to get? Am I going to go with, Anthony Richardson went in the 15th. Oh, somebody else saw that report and jumped on it. All right, so really I'm going to end up with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. So I am going to stack him with Juwan Johnson, and they are going relatively back to back. I'm going to get Shuck first. Probably should have looked at I should have gone with Juwan Johnson first. Mason Taylor went right before me, so this plan might work out. I'm sorry, I'm searching through. Where's Jalen Naylor in here? Or is there? I'm on the clock. I will stack Shuck with Juwan Johnson. It's always a nice little last second stack you can pull off. The other way to go, and I probably won't do it in a draft today, but let's not forget about Taysom Hill. I'm not going to get him today, or not in this draft anyway. But and Brandon Cooks at receiver is a possibility too. So Naylor and Cooks. But Taysom Hill is a guy that I still draft once in a blue moon in the last round because he's a weapon and he's still on New Orleans, and there's no reason, like, he could end up playing quarterback this year. Like, imagine being able to we've seen Taysom Hill before. He puts up 30, 40-point games sometimes. And in the tight end slot, with tight end eligibility, I And even if Taysom Hill, I mean, imagine if he only plays weeks 15 through 17. Your goal, the 20th round pick, it's money. But when I take Juwan Johnson, I don't take Taysom Hill. And I'm going to stack that. I'm going to stack J.J. McCarthy with Jalen Nailor. If Addison is out for a few weeks, Jalen Nailor should have some games. And Jalen Nailor is kind of a touchdown monster. Let me just look at this. No, 2024, 0 touchdowns. He hasn't had any touchdowns. Ugh. Maybe Jalen Nailor's a mistake, but it's the pick I'm going to make. I thought he had some touchdowns under his belt. Gotta look at that closer. But if Addison's out, he might have a couple of games worth putting in your lineup. I'm even half wondering. Brandon Cooks is dust. Jalen Nailor at least had 43 targets last year. Ugh. Could get a Wicks. I should be thinking about bringbacks, week 17 bringbacks, and I had the week 17 thing memorized and just kind of vanished out of my head. But we'll address that in the future. I'm gonna stick with what I had thought about to begin with. Nobody's gonna take Jalen Nailor here. We'll finish that up. All right, so what the team looks like, and actually I want to label this. So I name them all. I'm gonna have to do it later on my. I'm not as familiar with the layout and the buttons and tabs and everything on desktop. I'm almost always drafting from my tablet, and that's the other thing. When you see the draft board, you can never see the last pick. Can't see what the last pick is. Oh, it's way far behind. Just a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna reduce. Anyway, all right. Let me go over my team. Bijan at the top, followed by Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, and I come back at running back with DeAndre Swift. Grab Jacoby Myers in the 7th, TJ Hawkinson in the 8th, and then come back with Justin Fields in the 9th. I grabbed Luther Burden in the 10th. I just think he's a super value. I think Luther Burden could be Odell Beckham Jr. There. Then the 11th, I took a stab at J.J. McCarthy. I actually think he's going to have a decent season. But I really only did it because he was a stack. And there are other quarterbacks I do like better that go later. But we'll see that in future drafts. After JJ, I went with 3 different running backs because I felt like I was way behind. I hit up Trey Benson, who should get some run if Connor goes down. And actually, he should have some of his own value. It's his 3rd season. They should start to use him a little bit more, see what he really has. And then rookie Jaden Blue could end up with the majority of the touches in that Dallas backfield. And Dallas is going to pass like crazy this year, and Jaden Blue has that skill set in his bag. Dylan Sampson has been rising. I know there are many, including those from RotoViz, who actually liked Dylan Sampson better than Quinshon Judkins coming out, or equal anyway. So the fact that he went late in the draft was disappointing, and especially he was the second running back picked on Cleveland, and they already have Jerome Ford, but Dylan Sampson has been rising. I think he was going in the 16th or 17th round for most of the summer or summer preseason. But now he's up around the 14th round. I took him in the 14th round. I've definitely seen him go in the 15th. Let me see where that was compared to ADP. I'm sure it was ahead of ADP just because his ADP is probably still lagging. So his ADP is 169. I got him at 166. So not much of a reach. Then I went with Mike Gesicki. I talked about him earlier. I think he's going to get plenty of targets this year. And then just so I could have a third quarterback, which I prefer when I don't. Well, I prefer three quarterbacks just about all the time. Any teams I get to the finals in the past 5 years, actually, anytime I get a team to the final, I'm limping at quarterback. Even when I grabbed somebody like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts always seems to be hurt in weeks 15, 16, 17. So having another quarterback just to kind of, whether it's filling in bye weeks or just, Hayden Winks and the guys from Legendary Upside have done simulations where three quarterbacks are beneficial for both advance and in the finals. So that's become my new meta. I was only going with 2 tight ends, but again, this late, when you grab 2 tight ends in your last 4 picks, you're not spending a lot of draft capital on them. Your last 4 picks are generally just dollar auction bids. I mean, that's been said plenty of times before, but that's really what it is. They're dollar auction bids. So it's all the same. Reaching in the last 4 rounds, not a big deal. In fact, sometimes beneficial to make your team unique. But a nice little Shuck Jawan Johnson stack at the end is always a nice little thing I like to do. And then I finished with Jalen Naylor, just as a third wide receiver on Minnesota that should get some good playing time if Addison is out or anyone else gets hurt for that matter. And he's been consistent throughout the years. I am surprised just looking at his stats. I could have sworn remembering him scoring touchdowns, but all right. So what I want to do now, let's see, that took about an hour. Let's do I'm going to do a Rookies and Sophomores draft real quick. So you guys probably haven't seen many of these. Maybe you have. Whoops. All right. Oh, I got the number 1 pick. I'll take Genty. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure whether to go with Genty or Jaden Daniels. Let me share this screen. And I hope keeping it that size works for y'all. The number 1 pick is a struggle between Genty or Jaden Daniels. I'll go with Genty just because that's his ADP, but I might get a little stuck at quarterback. So the setup here is we start 1 quarterback one running back, two wide receivers. A wide receiver, tight end is the same position. So we start two of them, and then we have a flex. We go 12 rounds. I thought it was 10 rounds the first time, but we go 12 rounds. So depending on who I get at quarterback, will determine how many I go with. And I did this last time. I'm going to go back-to-back quarterback at this turn. There's no need to mess around. There's still JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, Cam Ward, but I kind of like the idea of two quarterbacks, and the position players are aplenty, actually. You'll start to see that the wide receivers, I remember them being deeper. Come on, take Hampton. So I am left with two possible stud wide receivers. Yes, I can get Jaden McMillan and I actually should go Rome Odunze to stack with Caleb. I do like Travis Hunter there, though. For best ball, I like Travis Hunter a lot better in best ball than I do in redraft. I feel like in redraft might be a struggle to figure out when we want to start him. And again, reaching a little bit for those two quarterbacks early prevented me from having to reach for Penix or Ward here. So the 2v2, Brian Tom. Actually, I could have split it. Next time I will. Next time I'll split it. Oh, because Penix and Ward are going to fall too. I just feel like with Caleb Williams and Drake May, I don't really need a third quarterback. Although I don't think many people are thinking third quarterback here either. All right, playing a little bit different than I thought. And I could have waited on the Chicago stack. New England stack, I think I can get later. All right, so what do we have here? Ooh, I've fallen behind the 8 ball at running back a little bit, but I'm just going to stack these receivers. Could have gone Scattaboo or Judkins. I'm going to gamble and see. I'm gambling to see if Judkins will fall. Luther Burden will probably go if he stays around. I didn't want to reach for him because I reached a little bit for Odunze, which was probably a mistake. I would have if I could do it all over, I'd go Travis Hunter where I got Odunze, and probably would have reached for Burden, but it's looking like I may not have had to. If I don't get Judkins, I will get Tootin. And that's where this is where having those quarterbacks help me. So I'm going to pass up Jaden Higgins because I'm just going to stack my quarterback. And I'm going to go with Judkins, assuming that the suspension isn't that long, if he is suspended at all. And actually, so let me undo those from the queue. I'm only going to get one more wide receiver, and it's only in a stack. I'm going to try to get two more running backs. So it's a 2-4-6 build. Yeah, that's what I like here. Yeah. And just taking a look. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's basically 9 draftable quarterbacks. So I like getting my quarterback early there, and having these. Oh, Jaden Higgins is still there, and Kyle Williams is already gone. Let me grab Tootin. Jaden Higgins is just falling too far. I won't stack Drake May. Jaden Higgins fell too far. There's still a few running backs that I like, and I'm just going to hope they come back around. So these are really quick. These are like the battle royales during the year. We'll do plenty of battle royales during the season. Yeah, good. See, drafting Spencer Rattler there, that's tough. That's tough. Basically, you want two solid quarterbacks so you don't have to worry about it later. And then, as you can see, wide receiver and running back values fall. There's a lot of good rookies and sophomores. I'm between. I was going to go with Benson. I almost went with Benson last time. And I am going to. I could go with Jalen Wright or Dylan Sampson. I'm going to go with Jalen Wright. A lot of people high on him. I went with Jalen Wright in that last pick. It's not showing anywhere. I hope I drafted Jalen Wright. If not, it was Dylan Sampson. That's really weird. It doesn't show me who I picked. Let me refresh this and see if it works. A lot of times you just lose it. Okay, I can go back though. Rookies and sophomores. It gave me Jalen Wright at the end. So I finished. Actually, I finished with Caleb Williams, Drake May at quarterback, Ashton Genty, Quinshon Judkins, Bayshell Tootin, and Jalen Wright at running back. I like that running back room. Tet McMillan. Apparently, him and his mother don't like being called Tet, but Tet Aurora, T-Mac. I think T-Mac is so corny. Tet is so much better. Tet Mac. And Roma Dunze, Matthew Golden. Oof. I got two. Matthew Golden gave me another week 5 bye. Emeka Egbuka, I'm really high on him this year. Even if Godwin is back to full health, I think you're going to see Godwin bounce between the slot and outside. Maybe play that stretch Z or flank. Emeka Egbuka, from what I understand, is mainly a slot receiver, but actually I have heard of him bouncing outside too. I think he's rather versatile. I think Emeka Egbuka is basically a facsimile of Godwin, and I'm never going to turn that down, especially in a rookie and sophomore draft. Then I talked about Luther Burden earlier, the next Odell Beckham, and then Jaden Higgins slid. In this, he has an ADP of 27.9. I got him at pick 41. So, yeah, pushing off wide receiver. Getting those two quarterbacks early, I think, is the method to use in this. And I like to rename them, but I don't see how. There we go. And I just named my stacks Chicago, and then I didn't stack New England, so I put it in lowercase. You can't see this. And then today's date is the 17th. So I'll save that. All right, it's saved. All right, do we got one? I got one more in me. I'm going to go with the... Stop sharing this. You see my big, bald, shiny head. I am going to go with, oh, you know what I haven't done in a while is Superflex. We have Superflex back in the room. It's called the German Shepherd with Superflex. We'll do one of these. In the earlier, I think it was the Puppy But Superflex, we saw quarterbacks come off the board really quickly. I don't know how long this draft room is going to take to fill. So maybe. Oh, it's only waiting for 3 people. We should be all right. But I'll show you the screen I'm looking at right now. My draft room here. I'll set up the queue. I definitely will take any of the top 4 quarterbacks right off the top. We're in the draft. I should check. This is what I want to check. You can see this too. All right. So we have, I just want to check the starting lineup. One quarterback, one super flex, 2 running back, 2 receivers. So wide receivers really devalued in this. Oh, and I'm not picking until, let me get the board up for y'all. I'm picking the 11th pick. So it doesn't really what order I put in my queue for the first 10. I'm not. So just to let you know, I did put Burrow and Chase in the queue along with Bijan and Barkley. So that gives me 8 in the queue. So now I need to start thinking about who I'm really going to pick. I'm going to queue up Jahmyr Gibbs over Mahomes and Jefferson. And I'm going to queue up McCaffrey. And then I'll think about doing probably Jeff or CD. I'll queue up Jeff before CD just because of ADP. But, ooh, Devin Achane. I like Achane better. Actually, I like Achane better, but I'll try to pronounce it the way it's supposed to. Achane. And we'll go from there. Okay, so the top 5 picks go right along with ADP. Again, I would not be picking Burrow at 5. I would probably take Burrow after a bunch of the running backs. I probably have Burrow after Christian McCaffrey. And although quarterbacks go super quick in this, I'm not going to reach on any, and except on the bounce, I'll probably get a running back in my, I'll definitely get a running back with my first pick. On the way back, I'm probably going to reach for Fields. Just if I'm going to make a bet on upside, I'm going to make a bet on Fields. Like there's just in best ball, it does. Who's going to put up more 30, 40-point weeks? Barkley's just sitting there. I actually have Barkley lower than McCaffrey in my rankings, but if I'm going to do enough of these, I'll probably do like 20 of these, which means I probably should just reach for the guys I like. Christian McCaffrey or Fields. I'm gonna go with McCaffrey. I'm gonna go with 2 running backs right off the top. Screw it. They're my second and third ranked running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs is. I would probably have Jahmyr Gibbs ahead of Barkley if it wasn't for Montgomery. If Montgomery's healthy, he's going to get the goal line touches. It's just the way it is. That's right. I was supposed to have an NFC draft tonight at 8 o'clock, but they can't get a draft room full. It's a shame. I only play there because I won a lot. A nice. I took fourth in their best ball tournament 2 years ago. So I've been working on taking that money out slowly and reparlaying it into there until it's an obscene amount of money. When it becomes an obscene amount of money, that's when it's time for me to retire. Hopefully. Collect and retire. All right, so what do we got going on? Oh, look at that quarterback run. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh. Okay, come on. Stay off my quarterbacks. I'm gonna probably have to get 2 at the turn. Okay. I can deal with that. I can if my guy lasts. No, he didn't. All right. I definitely have my quarterbacks ranked differently than ADP. So I'm actually hoping for, I'm really hoping for Trevor Lawrence to come back. Ooh, Brian Thomas. Oh shoot. Get back up. Although I could play the ADP game. The 12 hole went without a quarterback as well. So he's probably, or they probably going to go quarterback as well. We'll see what I'm left with. I'm gonna go Lawrence first, then Love, then McCarthy, then Stroud. Could do Pennick. Oh, Jonathan Taylor is there too. Bucky Irvin and Jonathan Taylor are there too. I'll have to remember that next time. I probably could have gone. I definitely could have gone Fields and then ended up with Jonathan Taylor. But look at this 2v2 in a moment. I took Trevor Lawrence a little bit ahead of ADP. ADP has McCarthy before him. And what the heck? I'll go JJ again. Seems like JJ day. I really would have liked Jonathan Taylor there too. I think I've said it before, but I'm really high on Jonathan Taylor. I think he has, if you just watching him play the last 3 weeks of last season, he looked like the RB1 of old. And I very well think he carries that into this season. So we can always hope. All right, so I'm going to be looking to stack Lawrence and McCarthy. Queue up. I'm still going to queue up quarterbacks and running backs. Ooh, Trey McBride, definitely. Breece Hall. Kyron Williams is an avoid for me. Oh, I haven't adjusted these rankings at all. So I'm going, well, I have ADP in the queue. Let me think. Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to stack him with, why can't I think of the rookie's name? But his ADP, Travis Hunter's ADP is 84. So I'll be looking in that 7th round, crossing my fingers, hoping he makes it to me. I'm not going to reach that far. What do we got here? McBride isn't going to make it to me. I'll grab Tyreek if he comes to me. No Rashid. Tiggy Higgins is a possibility. Harrison. Devontae Adams I like, actually. But we'll see. All right, so the only quarterbacks left are Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, and then the nonsense mess. And actually, this is Superflex. Oof. I'm half tempted to grab Anthony Richardson, which seems like a massive reach, and I believe it is. Yeah, his ADP is 87, so I'll cross my fingers on the bounce back for him. I'm going to unqueue him. I'm avoiding. So I have Marvin Harrison, Devontae Adams, George Kittle in the queue. I also have Amarian Hampton in the queue, but 3 running backs at this point seems a little extreme. I'm going to go ahead and grab Kittle. I think he's right behind Trey McBride in my exposures, and actually I'm going to grab Devontae Adams ahead of Marvin Harrison. I just think Devontae Adams has a better I shouldn't say he has more upside than Marvin Harrison, but I think he's certainly a safer floor than Marvin Harrison. I shouldn't shy away from Marvin Harrison. I think Devontae Adams with Matthew Stafford is going to be just absolute gold. And Kyler and Marvin Harrison really didn't get on the same page last year. I believe they're going to this year, but Marvin Harrison doesn't necessarily fit Kyler Murray's style. And I think Devontae Adams really fits Matthew Stafford's style. That's kind of what it comes down to. I really just have them back-to-back in my rankings, or close to back-to-back in my rankings. But Devontae Adams, I really think could be a wide receiver 1 by the end of the year, top 12 wide receiver by the end of the year. I don't think that's too bold a statement. All right, just setting up my queue. I am hoping for... Oh, yeah, that's right. I am hoping for... What did I have set up? Travis Hunter. Although George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Devontae Smith all look attractive. I am going to queue up Anthony Richardson if he's there on the way back. I'm actually, again, I'm going to have Anthony Richardson ahead of Daniel Jones in my draft rankings. Maybe not in my end of season projections for Fantasy Pros expert consensus competition, or what do they call it? Whatever it is, the rankings, accuracy rankings competition. And I'll talk more about putting that together. And actually, come August, I'll have an episode of where I really delve into how I switched from the draft rankings I publish for you to the draft rankings I publish for that competition. I think everybody does it. We create cheat sheets for your redraft leagues, but that isn't the same thing we put into the Fantasy Pros accuracy competition. And the reason is when we do draft rankings for you, we know full well that if there's injury or something happens where somebody falls off, you can easily replace that guy with the running back you drafted third, fourth, or fifth, or the wide receiver you drafted fourth or fifth, or pick somebody off waivers. There's a lot of things you can do in your redraft leagues that the accuracy rankings actually more reflect best ball. You kind of set it and forget it. You got to have it locked in. So it goes more off projections. And I myself try to hedge for injuries or benchings or what say you? All right. So I can stack Trevor Lawrence and I think, did I reach a little on that? ADP of 84.6. I reached a smidge. But I am going to take my third quarterback and just be done with quarterback. Lots of teams will have two. Or there's always actually, rather than kind of taking Anthony Richardson there at ADP, there's always the possibility of, let me see where he actually is being drafted. So Joe Flacco at 142, and then you could back that up with Shedeur Sanders at 182. And actually, that wouldn't have been a bad idea. And actually, Jalen Milroe at 184, I might still do that too. I might get a fourth quarterback in that 15th, 16th round, whatever that may be. Are we coming back up? No, all right. I'm on the other side of the board this time, so a little bit different. All right, let me just stack my queue here. It isn't pretty. It isn't pretty. Although a lot of these guys will be gone anyway. Ooh, TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison, if I could get that. Can I? I'm picking at 107 and 110. Their ADPs are 103 and 104. It's not looking good. Crossing my fingers, at least one of them comes to me. But again, like I wouldn't have reached immensely in any way. Jordan Mason at 108, stacking a running back with your quarterback isn't always optimal, but there is some correlation there. I think especially with an RB2. So when you're betting on your quarterback, you're kind of betting against the starting running back in a way. But the backup running back can present some unforeseen correlation in there that can certainly boost your squad. All right, so Jordan Addison went. Come on, leave me Hawkinson. And in that case, I really shouldn't. Well, if I do Kittle and Hawkinson, I might be done with tight end. I might. This is 20 rounds, so I'll probably get a third tight end regardless. But I would feel good about that. It's been a while. Quinshon Judkins goes. I would have liked that. But I will grab Hawkinson to stack McCarthy again. Again, meaning like last draft. And then, all right, Jordan Mason went. That would have been nice. The running backs get depleted really quickly here. All right, so I am gonna grab Jalen Warren. I should have looked at bye weeks. Okay, I'm fine there. Jalen Warren has some upside. He's got that rookie Caleb Johnson kind of blocking his way as much as Najee Harris did. But there is also a sneaky little pick in the 20th round here that many people are forgetting about. So Pittsburgh has Cordarrelle Patterson, mainly just for the new kickoffs. Every team is stacking up on kick returners, and there's literally none better than Cordarrelle Patterson. But Arthur Smith loves that dude and loves putting him at running back. So that's a sneaky little last round pick I need to keep in mind, especially in these 20-round drafts. All right, what other things do I have? I stacked Lawrence. I definitely need wide receiver here. Unless there's, oh, I got a little bit before it's my pick. All right, let me just stack the queue so it's okay, I could go with Josh Downs. I probably won't though. Darnell Mooney, not so much. Hugh Up Dobbins, Ibuka. Brendan Ayuk is going so late, but I guess there's a lot of risk there. I have plenty of Ayuk. Oh, I don't want to. I have 2 tight ends early, so I'm going to hide the tight ends on myself until the last round. And actually, so this 11-12 turn, I certainly won't draft quarterback, but that, no, I said, where was Milrow going? Jalen Milrow is the only other, well, no, Kirk Cousins is another quarterback. So Jalen Milrow is going in the 16th round. So I'm going to wait until the end of the 15th before I do anything with Milrow. And then I'll wait until maybe the last 2 rounds to think about a tight end as well. What do we got here? Oh, so I have Ayuk or Javonte Williams. I'm going to take Ayuk here. That's my 3rd wide receiver. If Javonte last, I will take him. And Njoku and Kraft are teasing me, so let me get that out of my sight. So I got Spears and Tootin lined up. Let me see. I'm gonna go Spears. Oh, I should have gone Tootin because I have Trevor Lawrence. Damn it. Star method would have worked there. Should have started him beforehand. Oh well. Nah, I'm disappointed in myself. That was a rookie mistake. Tootin's a perfect stack with Trevor Lawrence. Oh. Dang. Oh, I had Pittman there too. But Pittman isn't the guy I want to stack with necessarily stack with Anthony Richardson. Let me see. I have 4 running backs and 3 wide receivers. I need wide receivers. Okay. I waited too long on wide receiver. That Hawkinson pick kind of. It was unnecessary. Maybe Jalen Warren was too. Oh well. Let's Let's take a look. I'm just gonna queue up a whole bunch of people because tight ends are flying right now. It's around the range, I guess. Yeah, 12th round. I think they go later in regular non-Superflex. But wide receivers probably go a lot earlier, and it just because this is start 2 wide receiver instead of start 3 in normal 1 quarterback. Let's take a look. Wow. Oh, Luther Burden sitting there. And I like Hollywood Brown sitting there too. Lots of decent running backs as well. I will likely go. I'll probably go. I think it would normally go 7 running backs, 7 wide receivers, and then 3 of each of the quarterback. I might go an extra quarterback. I don't think I need 7 running backs on this team though. Maybe. Barkley and McCaffrey start was studly. Nah, I'm not gonna do Bateman there. So Burden went, and the Hollywood went. I am going to go with Jaden Blue again. Christian Kirk if he makes it around the turn. If not, I will take a stab at Cedric Tillman. I should have gotten. I was debating taking Kirk first. I should have grabbed Kirk before the running back because there are Rashad White I like, Jalen Wright I like, Tanks Bigsby. I have none of, but I could have stacked him with Trevor Lawrence. Man, shooting myself in the foot. All right. Yeah, I fell behind at wide receiver, and I'm reeling. But that's all right. There's a few wide receivers that I might be able to grab on when we come back. Actually, I want to look. Did Milrow go? No, Milrow's still around. So Milrow's the other guy I like grabbing late. Earlier in this drafting season, I was picking up Shedeur Sanders, Christian Kirk. If I don't get Milrow, I'll probably will grab a late Christian Kirk. My top 2 wide receivers have the same bye week too. Oh, wow, I need wide receiver. I'm going to get 8 wide receivers and only 1 more running back. The options at wide receiver are slim and risky. I'm seeing some in the 200s that I'm cool with. Yeah, we got some late wide receivers I'll be all right with. I'll make it happen, Captain. So Roshan Johnson's lingering around. I can't do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab Milrow just a little bit ahead of ADP. And then I'm definitely done with quarterback. And at wide receiver, I'm going to go with Pat Bryant. We got Sean Payton talking about he's the new Michael. Oh God, I can't think of his slant boy. I'll think of it after the stream's over. But Pat Bryant seems to be a focal point that Sean Payton wants to focus on this year. I could have reached for Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is a fantastic stack with Anthony Richardson. I'm not going to worry about stacking Milroe. He's kind of a one-off runner like Anthony Richardson. But I do expect Milroe last few weeks of the season, playoff weeks, to be Seattle's starting quarterback. I don't have much faith in Sam Darnold surviving the season anyway. All right, so what do we got going? I got 4 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 5 receivers, and 2 tight ends. I might grab one more tight end. I will probably grab one more running back. And I need at least 2 more wide receivers. I will probably grab 3. I do have Alex Pierce still sitting there. I mean, he's the top wide receiver in ADP, so I don't expect him to last, but he might. There's Michael Wilson from Arizona that I really like drafting. De'Ami Brown is a nice stack. But a running back that Marshawn Lloyd is staring me in the face, although my ownership on him is super high already, so I probably won't do that. And there he goes. Good. Running back, I do like Keaton Mitchell. I'll probably miss out on him. Adonai Mitchell is also a possibility. Oh, Deontay Johnson. I did grab Cedric Tillman. That I should have seen if Milroe would have made it around that last turn. All right. Sorry, I'm hiding the draft board on you guys. As you can see, Wandale was a possibility at wide receiver, but the rest of these wide receivers, Michael Wilson's there too. Alec Pierce goes. All right, I'm just going to stack. Let me see. Where's the ADP? Yeah, I'll De'Ami Brown, just stack Trevor Lawrence, double stack him. Although, I'm going to run into bye week trouble there. Crap. And then I'm going to go with Jalen Noel. A lot of ball knowers are quite high on Jalen Noel. He was actually outperformed Higgins in college. Maybe I gotta have to look at those stats. He was teammates with what's Higgins' first name here? Jaden Higgins. In college, the ball knower seemed to be higher on Noel, but Higgins got drafted first. Jaden Higgins is a kind of alpha outside receiver. He won't be an alpha in that offense with Nico Collins there. And Jalen Noel is more of a slot guy, and they're calling the guy I missed out on before, the Christian Kirk, the slot demon in camp so far. But Kirk is an above average wide receiver. I don't think there's much to really concern ourselves with as far as that goes. I had 2 more picks, and I talked about another tight end. How many wide receivers do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have 5 running backs. I should go another running back and another tight end. Using game theory, that is what would work. I could go Arroyo at tight end to stack with Milrow. There's no real. Ugh. Ooh, I don't want a week 10 buy at running back. I don't want a week 5 buy at running back. Well, you know what I saw the other day? Somebody drafted Sean Tucker. Oh, I could stack Henry Mitchell, and I like Deontay Johnson, but I got to stay away from wide receiver. Yeah, I need a 6th running back. Oh, I like Sinat too at tight end, and Trevor Etienne at running back. Woody Marks could be running back. There's that Taysom Hill tight end play. Elijah Mitchell, running back, Kansas City. I'm going to go with Elijah Arroyo just for the stack, tight end, rookie, whatever. I could have gone with Taysom. And then at running back, I'm looking at Sean Tucker, Trevor Etienne. There's probably another runner. Oh, there's Ollie Gordon. I like Jordan James. I don't have any Sean Tucker yet. I'm going to. Okay. Sean Tucker had a couple games last year. Why not? All right. So, looking at my whole team, we got at quarterback. Again, this is Superflex. So, I got 4 quarterbacks. I got Trevor Lawrence, J.J. McCarthy, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Milrow. Then at running back, I started out with Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and then I waited a while before grabbing Jalen Warren and Tajay Spears, Jaden Blue, and in my last round, I grabbed Sean Tucker. At wide receiver, I waited a while before I got my first one. I think it was a 5th round, Devontae Adams, and came back with Travis Hunter. Then took a stab at Brandon Ayuk at pick 131. It's a long way to fall for Ayuk, but hopefully he pays off because it looks like I'm going to need him. And then later in the draft, I went with Cedric Tillman. What round did I grab him in? 14th round. Usually I can get him a little bit later, I feel. I took him at 158. His ADP is 166. I just think the only thing that held Cedric Tillman back last year was his concussions. I think it was concussions. He could be just fantastic this year, especially to start with Flacco, and then hopefully whoever comes in after the first few weeks. I figure Flacco will go about 6 weeks before, maybe till their bye. But I don't see them starting out with anybody else unless they just decide, you know what? Screw it. Let's play for the number 1 pick next year, which is a possibility. But either way, I think Flacco will start out, and I think Cedric Tillman will thrive. I talked about Pat Bryant, how he was seems to be a favorite of Sean Payton already. Michael, there was 2 of them. Why can't I think of who we compared him to? Anyway, De'Ami Brown is stacked, and Jalen Noel should thrive in Houston. Probably won't at the beginning of the season, but second half should thrive. And then my tight ends, Strong, Kittle, Hawkinson. Probably didn't need Elijah Arroyo, but he is a stack with Milrow. All right, that's all I got in me today. As we can see, my voice is getting hoarse. And 3 drafts, 3 different styles. Seems to be, I think that's entertaining enough for you. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and go visit wheelrouteff.com. I should have updated rankings there this weekend. I really want to get updated redraft rankings out, best ball rankings out. And there was something else I wanted to do, but I'll be doing more drafts. It is draft week. This is the most popular week for the teams that are drafted that win contests. This is the season to be stacking up as many drafts as you possibly can. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. Until then, have a great night.